All right. I guess first teaser trailer. Is that what they're calling it? The first teaser trailer? Official trailer? Mando and Grogu? Here we go. Ooh. I like the music. I'm a sucker for the Anzellans, dude. I'm a sucker for Babu. I'm sorry. Ah, Grogu's so cute. Kids love him. I'm kind of over his ass, though. Nice. Whoa. That was cool. Is that Zeb kicking ass?
Yes! Impressive.
What the fuck? Whoa.
Good shot, baby.
Good shot, baby. Okay, so that's a trailer. I guess first reaction. Let's. I tell you what we'll do. We'll pull up the chat. What do you guys think? What's your first reactions to this? Like, what's chat's first reaction to this new? Oh shit! Star Wars trailer. Hang on. I just don't get why there's zero. Oh, Nerd of the Rings. What's up, brother? Says, I just don't get why there's zero conveyed plot in this trailer. Feels like an odd choice of montage action shots. Yeah, I mean, it's a teaser trailer, right? It's the first little tease, but yeah. Okay, let's see here. Hopeful. Super mid. Let's see here. Love it. Not much, just a tease. Wanted a bit longer, but I'm intrigued. Crazy how Sigourney Weaver has been on Alien and Avatar, but not Star Wars till now. Well, she's already been in Star Wars, but yeah. I liked it. Seemed good. Filoni could do better. Feels like more like the show than a movie. Yeah, interesting. Okay, so you have, as to be expected with Star Wars, you have some divided reactions to it. So let's go through the trailer and kind of talk about it. Now, there's been a trailer that's out there, right? It's been played at Celebration and stuff like that. This is a more refined version of that. There's additional photography here, and it does appear that the visual effects are dialed in just a little bit more. First thing, Razor Crest. They rebuilt the Razor Crest? That looks like a Razor Crest to me, right? So did they rebuild it? Did he maybe turn the pod racing, or not the pod racer, but the Starfighter, the prequel era John? Did he turn that into a new version of this? Crazy. Yeah. Interesting. So I always thought the Razor Crest was cool. And by the way, I thought it was so funny. Like, Star Wars has been, I don't know, sometimes people, sometimes you fans go a little hard on Star Wars. Not me, though. You know what I mean? But sometimes you fans go a little hard on Star Wars. One of the things that I did think was pretty ridiculous, though, was they literally, sold all this Razor Crest merch. They did Razor Crest, Lego. They did, Razor Crest Hasbro toy, okay? And dead ass that, season, that holiday season, they blew that shit up. They obliterated it. And I was just like, okay, I guess that's one way to do it. But yeah, the crest appears to be back. And you have I don't know, man. I mean, look, it's Mando, it's Grogu doing cute shit. You've got a little bit of a fanfare kind of version of the theme going on in the background. You know what it is? Checking out some stormtroopers. doing some kind of heist here. You know, they got the Enzellans. I don't know if this is Babu. Real talk. Does anybody know if that actually is Babu? I like Babu, man. I like Babu. I like Babu Frick. Now, partially, that's a little bit of a meme because I just decided that character was funny. And then everybody was like, what? No way, you like Babu? And then I leaned in. But I really do like Babu Frick, dude. Like, I like the Enzellans. Like, I don't know. I can't tell. Dude, part of what I like about Star Wars is how goofy it is. You know? Like, Star Wars has always had, like, weird, goofy-ass shit. One of the things that, to me, when I was watching Force Awakens, it's like a subtle thing, but it's very early on in the movie, and I think it's BB-8 or somebody else is, like, walking by, and this, like, weird-ass alien just, like, pops its head out of the ground and, like, looks over, and I'm like, that's so Star Wars. Like, Star Wars has always had this, like, little, like, there's these, like, goofy little creatures, like, all over the universe. And it kind of gives it this, like, endearing quality. It's a real fantasy quality. Sigourney Weaver. Now, this, by the way, this is, and I believe that's probably what it, earlier on in the trailer where the crest is coming in. This is that one, like, rebel base. I'm kind of fucking, I've been kind of checked out on Star Wars. I'd have to go back and, like, I'd have to relook at Mando, because I believe we even know what planet this is on or whatever, because this is a location that's kind of become a thing in the Mandoverse. So that's where this is at. And obviously these characters all have familiarity with each other. And they're doing the cute little Grogu thing, and she's shutting it down. It's like where Filoni's at. It's where Zeb's at. Crazy bar fighting, crazy lizard looking thing. I like the yellow paneling on the crest. It really makes me think they hot rodded it. Like, they took stuff from the old N1 Starfighter and kind of hot rodded up a new Razor crest. That's what it looks like to me, or whatever. Is this Zeb? Is this Zeb getting in on the action? Dude, that looks good. Because that looks like, I mean, that it's just like a shuttle, but that's probably like Zeb, right? Oh, a bunch of people all excited about the hut. Now, here's the only thing about this, man, is like a lot of people pointing out, and accurately so, there's not a ton of story shown here. And unfortunately, from what I've heard, a lot of the story revolves around this character, which I'm just not sure, you know, and I'm just not sure how this will work. But it's this hut, right? And I think it's Rada. And I've heard a large portion of the film is essentially kind of like a buddy cop movie with Rada, Grogu, Mando, and I guess maybe Babu Frick or whatever. And that's an interesting combo. We'll see how people feel about it.
Impressive.
Now, this looks badass, bro. What the hell is this? Are these bodyguards of the hut here? Are these, what's that symbol? You know what I mean? Like, what's that symbol there? It looks really interesting. Now, I've also heard that the Shadow Council's involved, right? Man, Leia's in here. My dog, she's being so needy. If I stop scratching her, that's what I'm doing over here, okay? Yeah, you hear that? Come here, Leia. Come here. She's being so needy. Yeah, this might even be connected to, like, the huts, right? These look to be like some droid type enforcer Johns. This looks fucking badass, bro. I like this shit. And it also looks a lot like Warhammer, which I really appreciate. Like, that is cool, man. That looks like a orc mech boy or some shit. Like, that is cool. Another big old lizard monster. I mean, they're going for it with the monsters, man. This is if you like this side of Star Wars, oh, sweetie, you need to stop. If you like this side of Star Wars, I think you're going to be in for a treat here, because it's like all the old school kind of stuff. It reminds me of a Dark Horse comic book from like the 80s or 90s, like the vibe. And I think that's a good vibe. I think that's appropriate. So in that sense, I think it's working for me in an aesthetic sense. All right, let's keep going here. We've seen, by the way, we've seen a bit of the action sequence on this walker here. Seen this action sequence, right, where you have him coming in. This was in the Celebration teaser trailer. There's like it's almost like feels almost like a hallway sequence from like Daredevil or some shit happening in that destroyer. And then you see a little bit of how they jump out of there and blow it up. But yeah, so we've seen a part of this sequence already. All right, this is the worst logo change ever. This is terrible. I can't believe they did this, but it does evoke a certain style. I really think it has like an Indiana Jones vibe. It has an Indiana Jones vibe. It has like a comic booky, Dark Horse kind of a vibe to it. Like a nostalgia, you know what I mean? Like even look at the text facing on the and the and. It's so Indiana Jones. And I think it looks terrible. It looks fucking terrible. But it does give you like it stylistically is speaking about some choices they made. I think they should destroy it. Cast it into the fire and reforge a different logo.
Good shot, baby.
Good shot, baby. And then the little alien gets blasted. Yeah. So there's some good stuff here. There's some bad stuff here. I guess at the end of the day, the debate online, right, and the conversation that a lot of fans are having about this is like, is this like what fans want for the next movie back to Star Wars? Now, that's kind of a different conversation, I would say. As a teaser trailer, I think this is a fine teaser trailer. I think as a theatrical experience, this movie's like, hey, do you like Star Wars? Did you miss Star Wars? Are you one of those people that went out and saw Revenge of the Sith this year? Well, dude, Mando Grogu going to the theaters, that's a thing. Like you're gonna like that. Like this is gonna be fun. You're gonna have the feels of like the way that you used to, et cetera, et cetera. And you're gonna get in there and have a little nostalgic time with Star Wars in the movie theaters. The question is that like, are people going to show up for that? Are people going to show up for that? Does Star Wars want that? Do Star Wars fans want that? Right? And I think that's a harder question to answer. The film does feel small. You know what I mean? And maybe that's just because it is a show, right? That it is literally a streaming show that's now going to go into the theater. The movie feels small. I don't know how important it is to the overall Star Wars thing. You know? Yeah, we'll see. I mean, their job, right? Like, it's complicated because their job is they want to sell the movie, but you don't want to oversell the movie, right? Is this a small budget? I mean, because I don't know what the budget is on here, but I know that it's the smallest budget for a Star Wars film ever. Oh boy. It's the smallest budget for a Star Wars film ever, right? So it feels small. It's got a small budget. It appears to just be like, hey, you like this thing? We're going to theaters with this thing that you like. So you're going to check it out, right? Yeah. And at the end of the day, I guess we're going to see. We're going to find out a lot about this film, actually. We're going to find out a lot. I think we're going to get a pulse on Star Wars a bit. I think we're going to get a pulse on the theatrical experience. I think we'll get a pulse on how shows and movies are going to be able to work together. Now, this is something I'm actually quite interested in. Now, we're talking about, in a little bit here, we're going to talk more about Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is a big success, and Demon Slayer is an example of streaming content or content that comes out in an anime form, a TV form, small screen form, that then does a hybrid with the theatrical experience to tell its overall story. This is something that Warhammer's really interested in doing as well, right? Warhammer wants to do the show, and then they want to do movies. Game of Thrones is thinking about doing this. They've always been shows. They do some stuff where they do the shows in the theater, but now they want to do theatrical experience. That's the rumor. They want to do Game of Thrones movies within the next couple of years. So we're going to find out a lot when Mando and Grogu officially releases, and we'll see what the numbers are. For me, and maybe I am the person that a movie like this is kind of aimed at, because even though I'm very critical of a lot of the decisions here, at the end of the day, I do want to just go see Star Wars in the theater again. And as jaded as I am on Star Wars, I'm still down to watch Mando and Grogu in the theaters. You know what I mean? Like, that is enough for me personally. And the question is whether or not that's going to be enough for X amount of others, right? A lot of others, few others, that's going to be ultimately the determining factor here. Now, there's a rumor, chat, that there could be a trilogy of these movies. Okay? But this movie would have to perform well for them to justify a trilogy of these movies. Now, I wonder, does it mean that this is set up into maybe Dave's movie, and they built this as like, maybe it's a part 1 to like what will eventually become Dave's Heir to the Empire as like a part 3 or whatever? Maybe, or do they have like an actual story that was potentially going to be the end of the show that would then be told in these movies, right? Not really sure. A lot will be determined by how this film does, I think. Right? I think. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess for me, we'll go to the polls here in a second. I want to see if you guys are interested. Ultimately, this is the first officially released trailer for a film that people have been kind of aware about for a couple of years at this point. And this is the start of them trying to promote this thing. So we're going to see, how is this first response landing with fans? Is Star Wars going to dial it up? What do the other trailers look like? Is there something here that's going to be like a hidden, crazy, interesting thing? Or is this really and truly just a sell of, hey, you like Mando and Grogu, it's going into theaters. Its next chapter is in theaters. Is that really all it is? Is that the draw? Very interested. I'm very fascinated in how all of that goes. Okay, so let's see. What do you guys think? First of all, let's go to the polls here. So let me end this poll. And I'm just really curious as to what you guys think of this trailer. What do you think of this first teaser trailer? Love it? Like it? Meh? Hate it. Hate it. Ethan, appreciate you with the 10 spot, says, I think it's exciting for a 2-hour Mando episode on the big screen. If it's anything like season 1 or season 2, it'll be special. But with the season 3 finale, what the fuck can they do? Anyway, so hyped for Nerd Theory tonight. Let's fucking go. Yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, that last season of Mando was rough. And I think not only was it rough because a lot of people didn't like it and it felt lazy. Dude, even Katie Sackhoff came out and said that she just didn't understand her character in season 3, probably because they were changing so much stuff. And this is around the time that Gina and that whole situation's going on too, right? But even Katie Sackhoff has said, like, I didn't even know what my motivation was, and it prevented me from being able to do the job well. So, dude, season 3 was pretty sloppy, bro. Like, it was pretty sloppy. It was pretty rough. But it also ends in a way where you're like, what the fuck? But remember, it does end with those two just chilling. He knows about the rebellion and stuff like that. So he's probably just going to get dragged into something, right? And maybe it'll have to do with the Hutts. Maybe it'll have to do with, other characters that he's met along the way. I guess we'll find out. But yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, man. I appreciate it. Rossi says, the universe works in mysterious ways. Mando and Grogu on the day of the return of Nerd Theory. I'm at a beach, so I may miss Nerd Theory. I'm not dead. Nerd Adventures for life. Hey, appreciate you, man. Have fun at the beach. It'll be waiting for you whenever you're ready. That's the beauty of content these days, man. You can watch it at your leisure. Let me keep scrolling up here. Elijah says, looks like well-done kids' TV show, but no epic or mystical heroic themes. Silly, not substance. George kept substance. Hey, that's fair. I mean, I think there's obviously both in George's stuff, but yeah, if you're saying you don't feel the substance of it, you don't feel the weight of it, that's appropriate. That's fine. You know, that's a take. And I would argue that Star Wars has always had things that are, you know, the main course and then there's side courses, but, you know, you would think that the movie, and especially the first movie after a while, would be a main course. So I hear you. Logan says, still looks like Disney Plus, easily going to be the ugliest Star Wars movie. No, that's Solo. Solo's the ugliest Star Wars movie. That's disappointing. Dune comparison's going to kill this franchise, especially with Messiah in the same year. Ooh! Damn, Logan! Going for the jugular on that one. Yeah, it is interesting how the Dune thing, the success of Dune and the franchising of Dune, it is kind of interesting how that's been on the rise and been successful. Well, obviously Star Wars has been kind of on a fall off, right? Yeah, I mean Dune is being handled with a lot of care. I liked that show, by the way. A lot of people talk shit on that show. I actually like the show. It's not like the craziest thing in the world, but if you're a big Dune fan and you understand some of the greater context of what's going on, dude, I thought that was sick, dude. God Emperor, you know, the AI Johns, the face changers, all of it. I was like, damn, this is cool. What we can hope as a Star Wars fan, and I'm a fan of all this shit, right? But Star Wars holds a very special place in my heart. And so I guess what you can hope for is that as these other properties are handled better and things go well for them and fans appreciate it, that they'll learn the lesson and reverse engineer how to get to that. And I think there's a lot of ways to get there, but you need people with vision, you need people that really care about it, et cetera, et cetera. You've heard a lot of this before. So we'll see. We'll see. Zach says, early stream. I got to watch after work, but I'm surprised at how cool the trailer is. Much love. Yeah, I thought it was fun. I don't know that I would say it got me really excited, but I would describe the trailer as fun, for sure. I would say it's fun. Overbound says, last year I said Mando Grogu going to be Indiana Jones in space. I got to say, as Indiana Jones and Short Round. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. MK2 movie will still make more money than Mando and Grogu. You think the second Mortal Kombat movie will make more than Mando and Grogu? Oh man. Look, I have seen a lot of Star Wars fans that think this is a mistake. That think it's a mistake to do Mando Grogu movie as its next thing or whatever. What killed their brand more, Mando season 3 or Born Again? That's a good question. You know, I would argue, Philip, that I don't know that Daredevil did a ton of damage. It did damage. Don't get me wrong. And it did damage to me personally. Like, I'll show you on the doll. You know what I mean? But I think the truth is that's more of a sign of how damaged the brand is. You know, in a similar sense that, like, Skeleton Crew, right? I didn't like Skeleton Crew. I didn't finish it. But I don't know that Skeleton Crew is so bad that it was responsible for its own lack of success. Same thing with Daredevil. Like, I thought Daredevil was ass, but I think the truth is Marvel was ass first, and that just turned a lot of people off from watching Daredevil. And in fact, the Daredevil numbers are so low, that's almost the only viable explanation to me. I know other people, like, everybody has a theory on it, you know, but it's a good question. I would argue Mando Season 3 did more damage. I think Mando Season 3 was, like, pretty fucking bad. I think most Star Wars fans agree it was at least a step down. And I think that's a bummer because it's the best thing they have. You know what I mean? So that's my take on that. Anyway, let's look at the poll here. Wow, look at this. Maybe there's a little life in the Star Wars, huh? 70% of people love the trailer. That's interesting to me. 39% of people like the trailer. Whoa, what is happening here? 36% of people say meh. I thought meh would be the clear winner here. And then only 8% of people hate it. Interesting. That is interesting. The budget is 1,664. Is okay. Now, is that the revealed budget or is that the budget after tax benefits? Because I heard this movie is getting massive tax benefits in California. But yeah. Does that poll surprise you at all? That poll surprises me. That's more positivity than I expected. Wow. Maybe it's kind of gotten so bad that fans are just like, hey, like a acceptable Star Wars adventure that feels familiar, I'm down. How to get tax benefits in Cali? I don't know. You probably have to not shoot in Hollywood, to be honest, but I don't know. I just know that I just know there was good reporting saying that it was getting massive tax benefits, massive credit, and it had the cheapest budget. It had the lowest budget of any Star Wars film, is what I was told. I didn't think Mando Season 3 was shit, but it was mid. It does advance Mando's plot quite a bit. Sure, but even you can agree it's probably the worst one, right? That's not a trajectory any show wants to be on. Easier to be positive when it's directed by Favreau. Fair, I agree. I agree with that. And I think that's partially why that matters, why the talent matters. That's why you pay him the big bucks. Because it's something you can fall back on. Oh, I don't know about this. Oh, I don't know about that. The motherfucker made Elf. And that's enough to like, that I don't know. I think that could get some people into it. So it's a good budget for this movie and Grogu is popular? Yeah, I mean, that could be the play, right? The play is, let's make a sort of relatively cheap film. The draw is pretty simple. You like Star Wars, you like Grogu. Go see this in the theaters. And maybe that's a winning formula. We're going to find out. Have I seen the poster? Yeah, the poster's cool. The poster makes the logo look a little bit better. But to be honest with you, they probably should have just had that on the poster and just stuck with the regular logo for the trailer. Because I think that poster is the logo. The poster's not bad, right? But that logo is like, it's for me. That's some bullshit. You started early. Goddamn, John. Good to see you, brother. Get on in here. It's hard to make a modern Christmas movie and it'd be an all-time Christmas movie. I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know what you mean by that. Why are you early? No, sorry, Gretzky. The trailer came out early, so we're going early, and we're actually about to wrap it up. So we're right at the end of the stream. You know, appreciate you though. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm just kidding. We got more shit to talk about. Dude, 10 a.m. What the fuck? Well, it's about 11. It's about when we get in here. So you guys will get in here, and then we'll get into all the Marvel stuff. You should share some random 1 to 2 minute Warhammer facts but at the end of every stream. I mean, I don't see why that would be a problem. That sounds fun. Star Wars is back, baby, says Ibsy. Oh, pump the brakes on that. I think Star Wars is back in theaters. That's undeniable. We'll see if it's back in the winning column. Are those pics of Marston, Shuri, Downey behind the scenes AI or real? They look like AI. Yeah, they look fake to me. I'm pretty sure they're fake, yeah. Will you talk about the Doomsday suits? Oh, don't worry. We're going to talk about the Doomsday suits. Harry says, today is my 31st birthday. Can't believe I get Nerd Theory back for my birthday. God bless you and your family, Josh. See you tonight for Nerd Theory. Thank you, Harry, and happy birthday to you. Let's get some happy birthday love in the chat for Harry, man. Happy birthday, Harry. Happy birthday, Harry. Logan says, predict their box office. Mando, Starfighter, Dune 3. Ah, shit. Okay. Mando, just over 600. Starfighter, $800 million hit. Dune 3, $1 billion game changer that embarrasses Star Wars. Okay, fine. You got me. Fuck. Fine. Didn't mean to send it twice. It's all good. It's Josh's birthday. Nope. Nope. Okay, everybody. That's going to do it for that segment. You know, a little bit more positivity than I expected for Mando and Grogu. That's interesting. I think the trailer looks fine. Some of the stuff I've heard about the movie feels very underwhelming, by the way. But I thought this trailer was okay. And got me a little excited. And I'm going to see this movie in the theaters. I guess the question would be like, is it really good? Am I going to see it multiple times in the theaters? Am I going to sit back and be... Because you know what? You know what? Before we get out of here, let me just make one little comparison here. Because I was thinking about this last night, and I think Thunderbolts is an absolutely fucking incredible movie, okay? And Thunderbolts is a movie that felt almost like Marvel Studios needed to prove to its most hardcore fans that it could still deliver to them what they enjoy. Thunderbolts did not do well in the box office. You know, Thunderbolts did not make money. In fact, it probably lost money. But it was good, bro. Like, I thought it was really good. And it was good in a lot of ways that just made me feel like, yeah, they can still do this. Is that what Mando and Grogu needs to be? Is that what this movie needs to be? Is it okay if this movie makes $400 or $500 million, but it proves to Star Wars fans that, like, it can still entertain them and it still provides all the things that they enjoy in the movie theaters? Because you could argue that what Marvel is trying right now, and this is actually something maybe we could talk to Theory about tonight too. You could argue what Marvel's doing right now is they're really just trying to build back a foundation on top of quality. Because I would argue that F4 and Thunderbolts are very, very high quality. They didn't perform the way they should have, where it's like crazy to think about like Quantumania making more than some of those movies, or it's crazy to think about Love and Thunder making more because those movies were ass. But it's like maybe we're just at a place where you got to build back, and you build back one brick at a time, and you build back slow with quality, and then you eventize for sure. But does this make sense what I'm saying there at all? Does this make sense what I'm saying? I would say Thunderbolts is top 10 Marvel, 100%. I don't know where in the top 10, probably in the lower part, but I think it's top 10 Marvel for me. Like, I enjoy it. And I would argue that F4 has to be in the top 10 as well. That might be crazy to say. I'd have to sit down and actually think about it a little bit more. But like I specifically was thinking about Thunderbolts last night because I was like, I think it's one of the best Marvel movies ever made. You know, like I really do. So it's interesting. Maybe that's what Star Wars needs. Maybe Star Wars is in a similar boat. It's like, fuck, man, hey, take your medicine, stand on quality, find a way to make it profitable, but that's on you on the back end of budget and everything like that. You got to deliver spectacle still. So you just have to like find that. And maybe the path forward is you just kind of make more quality and you just kind of go through it. Yeah. I guess we'll see. Okay, it's time to crash the stream, everybody. Much love. Appreciate y'all. See you tonight.